Hi guys, and welcome back to a crazy update on my Fluval M90 Reef Aquarium. You join me today as we completely strip the aquarium down. This is removing all the coral, all the rock, all the livestock, and I've documented bits of it here and there as we did it. This was quite a long process, although it's going to be quite a short video. So we'll jump straight in and I'll show you what's happening. So reason being is the bubble algae is just out of control despite any sort of information we've received from people, advice from the local fish stores we've received. We just can't shift it. So we decided to manually remove it. This involved using a hammer and chisel to chisel all the coral from the rocks, remove all the livestock, the cleanup crew, the fish, everything else that we could get out. And then it was just a painstaking process of actually scrubbing all the rocks and scrubbing, all the glass and all of the equipment, such as the wave maker, things like anything that had bubble algae in and around it, had to be completely cleaned. So as you can see from this coral, it was growing all over the stem and everything. There were snails charging around with it, all over the shells, and we just couldn't control it. It was too far gone by the time we tried to treat it. So this is where we are now. So as you can see from some of these videos, the corals are in buckets, we've got fish in buckets, we've got cleanup crew in buckets, and we're just going to completely revamp the aquarium really as if it's a brand new aquarium, put all the hardscape back in and set it all back up again. So yeah, here's all the bits and bobs here. We've got all the rock here, here's the sort of clean stuff. And then there's the stuff that's being cleaned. There was just so much bubble algae, it was just unreal. We tried so much and it just wouldn't shift, it was getting worse. So we started popping the hardscape back in, just to get it back in the water really. We then moved it around, tried a few different things, and eventually we epoxied it all nice and solid how we wanted it. We got it pretty good really, kind of better than I thought the last scape was. So let's see what you guys think in the future updates, really. But then we started popping the cleanup crew back in, and then that was followed by the fish. And not all the fish, mind you, and I'll talk about that in a sec. And then very shortly after, we started putting in the coral. So I'm just going to say to anybody who's thinking, I'll do this, it's a good idea. It's a huge risk. You could kill everything. You could completely crash your aquarium, killing all of your stock, coral, fish, cleanup crew, the full lot. But it was a risk we was willing to take because it was that out of control. There was nothing we could physically do. So this is the risk that we took, and only the future will tell if it's paid off. A week down the line it could all crash. So stay tuned and I'll keep you guys up to date. So this is stuff that we removed. We've got 3 green chromis in there, a load of Montipora, a load of Kenya tree, and I made a load of Kenya tree, and a selection of mushrooms. I'm actually donating this to a guy on our local sort of Facebook fish keeping page. His heater broke recently and got sort of stuck on and just wiped his aquarium out completely. So this is just a donation that hopefully will get him back on his feet. So you join me the next morning, and as you can see, so far so good, no casualties. Coral doesn't seem to be using anything. The fish are all still nice and active. The cleanup crew, from what I can see, are still there. So hopefully, moving forward, the aquarium will stabilise and everything will go back to how it was. There will be another update in just a couple of days because everything's sulking at the moment, so you don't really get the full impact of the change. But just seeing no bubble algae, that's enough for me.